Good evening and welcome to the channel's studios here in London with your international news around the world in 5. Hamas has threatened that not a single hostage will be allowed to leave Gaza alive unless its demands for a prisoner exchange are met. But Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says dozens of Hamas militants have surrendered, and he described the situation as being the beginning of the end for the group. Israel has ordered civilians to flee the centre of Khan Yunis, with an official saying he doesn't want civilians caught up in the difficult fighting there. Key mediator Qatar says the chances of a new ceasefire between Israel and Hamas are narrowing, but has vowed to keep up pressure on both sides. Ukraine's Foreign Minister Dmytro Kuleba has said it would be devastating for Kyiv and the European Union if EU leaders do not give his country the green light for membership talks at a summit this week. The leaders meet on Thursday and Friday to decide whether to launch membership negotiations with Kyiv and grant it €50 billion of economic support, and how to continue military aid for Ukraine's defence against Russia's invasion.
I cannot imagine, I don't even want to talk about the devastating consequences that will occur shall the Council fail to make this decision, not only with regard to Ukraine, but in a broader sense on the issue of enlargement as a whole. As I told you, we did our homework. We expect the European Union to do its homework, and we will be talking with member states ahead of the Council.
A manhunt is underway in Switzerland after 2 people were shot dead and another person was injured in the southern town of Sion. Police in the region of Valais said the gunman fired several gunshots shortly before 8 a.m. on Monday. The shootings took place at 2 separate locations in the town. The suspect, named as Robin Sebastian, is said to be dangerous, and police say he should not be approached. Rishi Sunak has defended the Eat Out to Help Out scheme that he introduced in August 2020 as Chancellor. The Prime Minister told the COVID inquiry it was designed to save jobs and took place after the safe reopening of pubs and restaurants. He also says the policy was proposed a month before it began, so could have been challenged by advisers.
The administration is described privately as brutal and useless, or criminally incompetent, or operationally chaotic.
The point, though, Mr. Keith, is that debates raged. I don't think that is necessarily a bad thing.
No, indeed.
I mean, it's right that there was vigorous debate, because these were incredibly consequential decisions for tens of millions of people in all spheres, whether it was health, whether it was education, whether it was economic, whether it was social, whether it was the long-term impacts. These were incredibly big decisions, the likes of which no Prime Minister had taken in decades, if ever.
President Vladimir Putin has attended a televised flag-raising ceremony for 2 nuclear submarines that he says were part of a strategic drive to project Russian naval power. Mr. Putin travelled to the northern city Severodvinsk to view the vessels, the Krasnoyarsk and Emperor Alexander III, at the Sevmash shipbuilding yard. Mr. Putin said both nuclear-powered vessels would soon take up duty in the Pacific, emphasizing that they were part of 2 separate series of submarines that Russia is rolling out. The US military's secretive X-37B robot spaceplane is poised for liftoff from Florida on its 7th mission to orbit the vehicle's first launch atop a SpaceX Falcon Heavy rocket. The Falcon Heavy, composed of 3 reusable rocket cores strapped together, is due for blastoff from NASA's Kennedy Space Center at Cape Canaveral during a 10-minute nighttime launch window. The Defense Department has disclosed few details about the mission. The Boeing-built X-37B is roughly the size of a small bus and resembles a miniature space shuttlecraft. And a large whale has been seen swimming in shallow waters close to a beach in Perth in Australia. Drone video showed the moment about a dozen swimmers at Port Beach swam up to the aquatic mammal and touched it. People who saw the giant mammal said they were concerned for the whale's health and safety due to its unusual proximity to the beach. According to local media reports, the whale swam away to deeper waters after about 1 hour. And that's your international news around the world in 5. Now back to the channel's studios in Lagos.